Okay guys, so this video here is to simply explain how to conduct the wave on a string inquiry. So that means that you have watched this video, and what I want you to do when you actually go to start conducting this experiment is to click on the next one, which is the actual wave on a string inquiry. And once you're in there, you have access to the directions that I'm going to go through right now. You also have access to the link to the website that you're going to need to click on in order to get to the simulator that we're going to use for this lab. Okay, so again, I'm going to real quickly show you Lab 9, and just kind of so you have an idea. You should have already looked at this, but just so that you kind of have an idea of what you're going to be doing with the wave on a string inquiry. So you're conducting a scientific method experiment on how what's going to happen. The question right here is there a relationship between frequency and wavelength? And so the simulator on the wave on a string inquiry is going to walk you through changing the frequency. Okay, if you can see the data table there, changing the frequency, and then how the wavelength responds when you change the frequency. Now you're going to do all the steps of the scientific method, including the power conclusion, just like we have done all year long. But back to Canvas and back to our instructions, when you are finally ready to start conducting this, you're going to start off by simply going to that website that is linked there on Canvas for you, and you're going to click on the play button in the middle of that picture, and it's going to take you to the website. Now, there are a whole bunch of settings that, like I just showed you on Canvas, are laid out there for you. So if you need to go back and watch, or if you need to go back and review these instructions, they are right there on Canvas for you. But I will walk you through them here too. We are going to make sure in the top left-hand corner that the wave generator is set to oscillate. So right now it's on manual, which means that I could manually sit here and move this. But we want it on an automatic oscillation. And so in the top left-hand corner, I selected oscillate. In the top right-hand corner, I am going to select no end, because I don't want there to be any sort of fixed end or loose end on the other side of the wave. I just want it to be floating there. I am going to make sure that the damping switch down at the bottom right here is set to none, set to 0, set to none. And then I'm going to make sure that the checkbox for the ruler in the bottom right hand corner is selected, so that, as you already read, when we go to measure the wavelengths, you're going to be able to use the ruler there to get the exact measurement for the wavelength. Okay, the tension switch is already set to high for us. That's all good. The amplitude we're going to leave at 0.75. Don't mess with that. And I actually want you to leave the frequency, this one right here, leave it at 1.5 to start. Now the things that we're going to do, you're going to be changing that. You are going to be impacting the frequency and then measuring the wavelength. So, but we can start it at 1.75. Now, as you go to decide to measure these, you're going to use this pause button to stop the wave and then use your ruler to get an accurate measurement of the wavelength at different frequencies. Okay, now as we see in this, I'll go back real quick to here in step 8. If you look all the way down to step 8, you have the different frequencies that you are going to select, and then you're going to take that information and graph it just like it is, just like it appears on here. So here's your different frequencies, here's your wavelengths, what you'll put in there, the graph from Google Sheets, and then a power conclusion, and that should be good for this wave on a string inquiry. Okay, again, now if you're confused, go back and watch this video again, or just review these. Again, this is just kind of for a setup and understanding how I want you to set up the wave on a string inquiry. Of course, I am here to answer any of your questions, so please just let me know any way that I can help you with setting this up.